All right. This is only for my first two classes here today because I forgot to mention this in class. I knew I was forgetting something. But we never talked about the example that you guys finished up with last week, Friday, where we were trying to prove that listing a certain letter first increases the likelihood of that letter being picked. And you had to have all the answers done before you left class on Friday. So I know you had all the answers, but we didn't talk about it today like I intended to. So you got a test statistic, I think of like 2.757 or something like that. Your p-value, right-tailed p-value is 0.003. So our conclusion was we reject the null and we accept the alternative. But if that is our conclusion just is the alternative hypothesis. Like the jury foreman does not stand up and say, we reject the null, we accept the alternative. They say, no, guilty. We find the defendant guilty. We are accepting the alternative hypothesis. So if you reject the null and accept the alternative, your conclusion is the alternative hypothesis. So you can state your alternative hypothesis as your conclusion. Our conclusion is listing a certain letter first increases the likelihood of that letter being picked. And there are like real life implications to this. Because once again, we suck as randomizers. And this is a lot easier than what we talked about earlier in the semester, because here we only have two options. You can pick the first letter or the second letter, and we still can't randomly select between those things. Now, the real life applications to this, let's say that you're running for Grand Valley Student Council. I think it exists. But there's going to be some people who are like, I'm going to go vote. This is my right. This is my privilege. I have to vote. I don't know anything about the candidates, but I'm going to go vote. Don't do that. I mean, vote, yes, but know who you're voting on and why and stuff like that, because your vote counts the same as mine, and I care. But anyway, let's say that there are people that go into Grand Valley Student Council and they say, I don't know anything about the candidates. I'm just going to vote because I can. And they're going to say, I'm going to randomly select who I vote for. Well, remember, we suck as randomizers, so we can't randomly select. And statistically speaking, you are more likely to pick the first person listed than the second person listed if there's two options, and the first more than the third. So if you're running for Grand Valley Student Council, and if you want to increase your chances of winning, make sure your name goes first on the ballot, because you will get more of the random selections. So yeah, I'm sorry for not bringing this up in class. Hopefully you can watch this and this will suffice. Email me with any questions that you have prior to the exam on Friday, or you can stop by my office. See ya.